We are back with Ben Prather with Cass County Vector Control, talking about the bump in numbers when we're talking about mosquitoes. But I also want to mention people are talking about gnats. Are you seeing them?
Yeah, gnats have been pretty severe, I think, throughout the upper Midwest. They're primarily driven by colds, cool water. They really like floodplain kind of areas, streams and things like that that really provide a lot of oxygenated water as it moves through. So we've seen plenty of that, obviously, this year with some significant flooding throughout the region, and it's fairly widespread. I've caught some social media posts from Minnesota and elsewhere that folks are saying that definitely the gnats are maybe one of the more driving nuisances that are out there. And fortunately, the products that we use actually will kill gnats as well. So hopefully those numbers kind of wane naturally, and of course with our efforts in the coming days.
Go ahead. I was going to say, can you tell the story again about the kids in Kindred?
Yeah, so we responded to the city administrator down in Kindred was having some major calls from residents and primarily daycare providers in that city that gnats were just terrible. They're buffalo gnats, so they're relatively kind of big for a gnat, if I can say that. But they were having severe reactions from anecdotally I've heard just the kids' ears and eyes and faces were getting all swollen up just from the gnats, and that's primarily from the saliva. They're having that reaction to the insect, like gnawing on their skin. So definitely a challenging scenario for those folks and those residents. So we went down there and tried to kind of take down those numbers a little bit, and we're not quite sure how that's doing there, but hopefully it improved a little bit.
So can the parents be doing anything to apply something for
definitely. I mean, just take the same precautions. Wear a DEET-containing bug spray, keep the nuisance flies off of them. A DEET-containing product certainly is going to help control ticks, mosquitoes, and hopefully we'll settle down on the gnats. Eventually the gnat population is going to wane off and those die out fairly early spring, and hopefully we won't have to deal with this in another week or two, and things will kind of settle out on its own. But certainly conditions can be very difficult.
Can you talk about some of the sprays? And you mentioned DEET. The confusing thing at the store is what level percentage?
So the percentage of DEET really is more proportionate to the amount of time of control that you're really looking at.
Okay.
So when you see the deep wood stuff, the 30-40% and higher, those are really meant for 20-24 hours of control. So those are really, if you're only going camping, hiking, those kinds of scenarios, you really don't need that highest percentage of product that's out there. So a product like this with 40% DEET would only really be best utilized by those types of folks. If you're going to spend a couple hours out on the golf course, maybe backyard in the garden or having a barbecue, whatever, you can definitely go for a less high percentage of DEET. That's somewhere in that 15 to 20% range is going to give you anywhere from 4 to 8 hours of control. And then of course there are some botanical type products that are out there that are certified by the Environmental Protection Agency as an actual repellent or technically a pesticide in that perspective that do show anywhere from 4 to 6 hours of repellency if you do not like the DEET products. And those are primarily the oil of lemon eucalyptus. There's another product called picaridin, and a handful of others. But make sure you're looking for the EPA registration number on those products and using them to the specified directions.
Should we call you Dr. Prather?
I know, you know your stuff. It's incredible. We're going to have you back in a couple weeks because bugs and all of this, it's like an all summer long issue. So we'll have you back in an update.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. All right, stay with us. We got much more coming up right after this.